There was, if the pre-match hype was to be believed, division in the stands among Manchester United fans torn between wanting victory for their own Champions League push, yet not wanting to help deliver a first top-flight title in 29 years to Liverpool. And there were questions of divided loyalties in the United dressing room after the single most humiliating performance of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign at Everton last Sunday. If the first dilemma remained largely unresolved, with all United fans leaving Old Trafford leaving dejected at a 7th defeat in their last 9 games, it is the second which is giving cause for greater concern. Losing to Manchester City is no disaster in the grand scheme of things. After all, Pep Guardiola's men remain in pole position to back up their Premier League title, and results elsewhere gave United a helping hand, with Arsenal humbled by Wolves. But the big questions which have circled around the club this week as to whether this side is good enough to get them back to where they belong, and whether they were prepared to put in a shift, as Solskjaer put it, were answered. On the evidence of last night, the huge rebuilding job needed is still locked at the planning stage. This was a mediocre display against a City side who took time to get into top gear. But it was at least a mediocre display by players trying to be better. Paul Pogba has had much to say in recent days, with his agent seemingly agitating for a move to Real Madrid in the summer, and was a peripheral figure here once again. Alongside him, Fred was awful, and at the back the ongoing poor form of another contract wrangler, the leaden-footed David De Gea, was poor for both City's first 2 goals, beaten twice at his near post. Aside from those 3, United at least rolled their sleeves up and tried. And given where they are at the moment, that was a start. Roy Keane had given his uniquely crushing assessment of the current United side, laying into them with all the vigour he reserved for Alfe Inge Haaland in derbies past. "There's too many bluffers at this club to get Man United back to the top," he said. "There are the players who threw Jose Mourinho under the bus, and they'll do it to Ole. Leopards don't change their spots," he said. The former midfielder had reserved his best vitriol for Paul Pogba, commenting on an interview he gave to Sky Sports on Monday, in which the France international had labelled the performance at Everton as disrespectful to the club. "I wouldn't believe a word he is saying," said Keane. "There is no meaning behind it. I don't even think he believed what he was saying there. He's a big problem. The eyes don't lie, he plays for himself." Trending Solskjaer had made 5 changes from the side filleted by Everton and, clearly in anticipation of a difficult night, reverted to 3 at the back, with Ashley Young and Luke Shaw operating as wing-backs. The early signs were that United were at least fired up, if not by Keane's critique, but Solskjaer's pre-match words. After 6 defeats in their last 8 games, United's boss had called for a return to the honeymoon period of his interim managership. "Now is the time now to show our real selves again," he said in his program notes. United's game plan was not subtle, crowding the backlines, ignoring the midfield area and trying to utilize Rashford's speed up front. But it was effective at getting City rattled in the opening period, at least, doubling up on their wide men. Perhaps more crucially, it was effective in getting the Old Trafford crowd fired up. Two goals in the second half may have silenced them, but they and the players provided support for Solskjaer as he sets out on the task of rebuilding. And at least they didn't give Liverpool a helping hand.